Hello, Jeffrey Langlois, Langlois Vital Nutrition Center here in Brookfield, Wisconsin. And I am in my backyard. It's grilling season. So, grilling may not be the healthiest way to eat food. I think there's pretty much scientific agreement on that. The healthiest way to cook food is usually going to be boiling, steaming, maybe baking, but lower temperatures. For instance, hard-boiled, soft-boiled eggs are much healthier than fried eggs in oil. That heat and the oil creates some toxins. But we all got to have a little fun, so I'm outside going to grill a steak on the grill and kind of go over the ways that I would grill meat. So I am going to be making a bone-in ribeye from my friends over there at Kettle Range Meat in Elm Grove, Wisconsin, and grass-fed beef. Bone-in, going to make it a little juicier, nice thick ribeye steak. And so I have a gas grill. The reason I do gas is because I can control the temperature a little bit better. I have a temperature gauge. I try to keep the temperature around 275, 300, just depends on how hot it is outside. So right now the grill's at 350. I'm going to turn it down. Anyway, I'm going to put this incredible piece of ribeye. This is the third one I've had in a week. So I'm going to put that on the grill. Now, there's people that, the big danger in grilling food, of course, is the charring. So you want to keep the charring, they say, oh, it seals in the juices. Yeah, it does, but that burning and charring is part of the toxins that we want to avoid. So we want to get at least amount of burning or charring as possible on the meat. And so I turned down my grill. The temperature's already dropping. Right now it's at about 325. I'd like to get it under 300. Okay, so then rare versus medium. So when we cook food, we actually start to break it down, and it actually becomes easier to digest. Yeah, you will kill some nutrients, but especially with a tougher piece of meat. The ribeye's not necessarily tough, but when it's grass-fed, sometimes it's a little tougher. So I found if I do medium rare or rare, which some people say is better for you, there's more nutrition in rare meat, but actually it can be tough and chewy. So I find like medium, which is I think around 160. I use a meat thermometer, so we're going to plug in the meat thermometer, and I like to get it about medium, which makes the meat nice and tender. Sorry, we're getting some change in the sun and the clouds here. So I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to go in and get my meat thermometer. Meat center. It's going to take maybe about 12 or 15 minutes with a thick steak, but the best way is get yourself a $10 or $15 meat thermometer, and that way you know exactly when it's done perfectly. Okay, and I'll be back with you in about 10 minutes. All right, we're back. You can hear the beeper. It's going off. It says my meat is at 160 degrees, which would be medium, which breaks the tough collagen and the fibers in the meat down. So it's make it more tender, but I don't like it completely well done and all dried out. Okay, so I'm going to take and the grill is in this. It's really hot today, so my grill on the lowest setting is about 275. I could have probably turned one of the burners off, but here we go. There's the meat thermometer. It's beeping, hit 160. I just took it off the grill. Thermometer just already dropped down to 158. So it stopped beeping. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to let it sit for about at least 5 minutes. You want to let it sit so the juices, there's a lot of juices that are bubbling. The fats actually start to liquefy and bubble up out of the meat. So we want to let it cool off. Let those juices go back down into the meat so the steak is nice and juicy. So now we're just going to let it sit for at least 5 minutes or 10 minutes. I don't really keep that close a track. But I'm going to turn the grill off, and we'll do a taste test in just about 5 minutes. All right, here we are. That's 160 degrees, nice and even all the way through because you used the low temperature. Another thing that actually is really good to do is bring your meat up to warm room temperature before putting it on the grill. We didn't talk about that. This was a 1 pound ribeye. I'll eat about half of it, and then I have half for tomorrow or later. And And there isn't a lot of char marks because I kept the temperature at about 275 to 300. And delicious, juicy, nice and tender. I think I could have actually just cooked it just a little bit more. I was hungry, so I took it off the grill when it hit 160. But because sometimes the grass-fed meat can be a little tough, you let it cook a little bit longer, it actually will tenderize the meat. So, all right, so your health is your wealth. The smarter you get, the better you will be able to take care of your health. So you want a good piece of meat on the grill. I also notice when I eat like this, my energy will go up. There's so many B vitamins and nutrients in grass-fed beef. There's a lot more nutrients actually than there's going to be in a salad. So don't avoid, as long as you don't have any allergies to red meat or bothers your stomach, do not avoid red meat. It's actually very good for you. Okay? All right, we'll see you in the next video.